Hello, WPF and YouTube. Skippy here, coach of the Steel City Surge. Back for week 3, the battle against Sableye. We are going to see Terra fighting Beartic. No Dawn fan. We do see Meowscarada and Necrozma. We do see Chinchino. No Goodra. No Thundurus. We do see Toxapex. See Terra fighting and Terra Fairy Necrozma. You see Toxapex and Chinchino. Okay, so we always run with Landorus lead here. So that's pretty nice. We only see 4 total setup threats. Not a lot of defensive mons on that side. It's pretty much just Toxapex. We're gonna go lock in here. Best of luck to Sableye this week. So let's see, the Meowscarada lead. Okay, this makes sense. So I don't know if this is Scarf. I don't know if this is Scarf, and I don't want to test it. It could be a Sash lead. I'm inclined to go into London right away. And just see what this thing wants to do. If it wants to knock off, that's fine. But if it wants to go for triple axle, it's going to take massive damage. Unless it's like, I don't know, heavy duty, or not heavy duty boots, protective pads. Let's see what he wants to do here. Get the hard switch right away. I don't like a triple axle here, so I go right into London. We are going to see a hard swap. Okay, what does he hard swap into? He knows we're Scarf now, too. Into the Ninetales. Okay. This is Snow Morning Ninetales. Okay. I mean, I kind of just go straight into Kyber here, I think. He's going to want to get up Veil, which is fine, but I can Volt Switch out. There's no ground type here, so I can Volt Switch freely with Kyber. We are slower, so we're going to hard swap into Kyber here. But that's good to know for me as well. That is not Scarf Meow. Goes straight into Baton Pass. Okay. Baton Pass A-Tails. He could go into Beartic. I don't think he wants to go into Beartic on this, though. I would expect Meowscarada. If he does go Meow, we go into Weezing. He goes to Necrozma. Interesting. So Necrozma is Terra Fairy. I'm pretty sure on Necrozma... Does it get Earthquake? It does get Earthquake. How much is a Necrozma Dragon Dance Earthquake doing the crown? It's doing a good chunk. I'm gonna Volt Switch here. We outspeed this. We outspeed Necrozma here. So we could go for a Volt Switch. I don't want this thing setting up, though, either, so I'm going to go for a Volt Switch, and we're going to go hard into Landorus. Volt Switch does very, very little. Landorus could take a ton from Photon Geyser, but if we get that Intimidate off and it's a physical one, it's a 3-shot. I like that. I don't know exactly what he's going to go for here. He did not Terra at all. We do get that Intimidate off. He goes for Rocks. Okay. We'll get to see if he's, like, Leftovers at all. He's not Leftovers. Okay. I could feasibly go for an Earthquake here. I could also U-turn, though. We are most definitely faster. I think a free Earthquake is good because he doesn't really have anything that enjoys an Earthquake. An Earthquake is a 2-shot on Necrozma right now. That is it looks like specially defensive Necrozma too, so we can go for an Earthquake for free here. He stays in. Yeah, that's Trick Room. Ooh. Okay. So it is a Trick Room Necrozma with Stealth Rock. Okay. That's not too surprising. We can take this thing out though. It's we did just under half, I think. Yeah, it looks like we did just under half. We can live whatever he wants to go for here and go for another EQ. He's gonna switch. Okay, so something is going to take massive damage from an Earthquake here. It is gonna be the Ninetales. We might be able to take this down. Okay, that's a good amount of damage. We did roughly 40%. Yeah, so that is... I think that's more physically bulky. We always go into Kyber on this. We never stay in. If he has max speed on this, then we outspeed it. If he baton passes, again, good play from him. He was Aurora Veil. Okay. That's fine. We do have Brick Break on Landorus for this reason. We do see the Veil. And... not Aurora Beam. It's Aurora Veil. Okay. So, with... Iron Crown, we absolutely demolish this with Tachyon Cutter. What does he have that likes Tachyon? He doesn't really have much that enjoys a Tachyon Cutter. So I'm gonna go for a Tachyon Cutter. We do go first, so we are gonna take that Tails down. Okay. So that's huge. That is huge. So we take down the Alola Ninetales. That thing is gone. It's gonna have Veil for a little bit. Beartic does not want to come in with Trick Room up currently. So I'm expecting to see maybe Toxapex. This thing not having snow anymore is really good too, for that reason. Necrozma has already chipped down a ton too, so... And also, no Chestnut means Sludge Bomb is almost free on Darkrai. So I just have to wait out these Trick Room turns. He does go Pets. I'm curious as to what Pex is doing here. Psychic does massive damage. Alright, hang on. There's one more turn of Trick Room and one more turn of Snow. And it was... Okay. So he's not Light Clay. We know that. He was... what was it? The Snow Rock. The Icy Rock. He was Icy Rock. So with this, I'm kind of keen for just going for a Calm Mind here. If he wants to sit in on this, that's fine. Infestation! Interesting chip. I'm at +1 for free now, and I do have Volt Switch. The snow does stop, so we're not going to see Slush Rush Beartic at all. It's probably going to be Trick Room based. I gotta make sure that Aurora Veil is up. We have Stealth Rocks up on our side. Twist of Dimensions return back to normal. We are at +1/+1. I think I can go for another... No, I can't. I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch here, I think. No. I'm gonna go for a Psychic. I don't think he stays in. I think he swaps to me. I don't think he swaps to Meowscarada. If he wanted to go into Meowscarada, he would have done so already. If he hard swaps into Meow, that's a great play on his part. But I like going for a Psychic here. It's going to do a chunk of damage, and if it's physically defensive Pex, which I don't think it is, he does stay in. That does a lot more. He's not... Okay, and he does bring spikes. Okay. Does bring T-spikes. That's fine. I don't think Cyclizar is as useful in this matchup. So using him for hazard removal specifically is going to go away a long ways. Especially since we outspeed everything on his team. He can probably get another layer up, but that's fine. I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch here and get Cyclizar in. Yeah, we're gonna go for a Volt Switch. We're gonna get Cyclizar in before... We're gonna get Cyclizar in before another layer of Toxic Spikes goes up. He does go for Haze. Okay, so that was a very good switch from us. He doesn't have a spin blocker currently, and he's Black Sludge too. I missed that before. Black Sludge. Probably Regenerator. Aurora Veil wore off, so that's huge. No more Veil. I can go for Rapid Spin for free here. And then we can knock off afterwards, because we'll outspeed everything. Cyclizar is going to be here mainly to make sure that these Toxic Spikes don't get multiple layers. I probably could have knocked off first in case he wanted to go for another layer. But this is fine. I get rid of the rocks. Do get that Rapid Spin off, and that's doing a decent chunk. Let's see what he goes for here. We do get rid of the spikes and the rocks. He does go for Recover. Okay, so he doesn't really have an attacking move. That's fine. Okay, so we know his 4 moves. I'm gonna knock off here. And then we can potentially U-turn afterwards. He switches. Okay, so something's getting knocked off here. Necrozma is probably going to go down to this knockoff. Okay, it takes 2. It's going to take 2. Ooh, weakness policy. Oh, interesting. Okay. Weakness policy, Necrozma. Knockoff. It's at just under 20. Knockoff took it from there to there. It does not have an item. U-turn does slightly more. I'm inclined to U-turn here and hope we knock out the Necrozma. If we don't, we go into Iron Crown. We do knock out the Necrozma! Alright, this thing goes down. Necrozma goes down, so the only thing left is Terra fighting Beartic. I think I can go freely into... Let's see. I'm gonna go into... Swampert's pretty expendable outside of the Beartic. The Beartic is not going to be able to set up very easily. And Weezing is such a good mon here. I'm going to throw in Kyber. We're going to try to bait out the Meowscarada. Knockoff is a roll to KO if it's Jolly, which I think it is Jolly. He does go with Meowscarada. We are at 291 currently. We're at 87. This is a very, very high chance to knock us out. I am almost... Do I really need Scarf on Lando anymore? I don't think I do. Can I hard swap into Lando? Get that Intimidate off on a knockoff. I can. And then I can Terra Flying. If it is knockoff, then we'll be able to see how much damage he does. I think it is knockoff. I kind of want to go into the Weezing, though. Weezing is just a free switch. Weezing is just a free switch on Meow. If he wants the knockoff, that's fine. Goes for Dark Pulse. He's special Meow. I like that. That does a lot more. I'm glad I have some special bulk on this. Dark Pulse. Okay, that makes... If he's special Meow and that's his best move for Iron Crown, I like Iron Crown a lot more. That is special Meow. That is a timid... It's probably Choice Specs then. Dark Pulse. Against Iron Crown. That's still a 2-shot. That's a lot of damage, actually. How much is it doing... I don't know how much is it doing to... They brought us from 291 to 195. That did 33%. Dark Pulse, that's a high roll with Choice Specs. That's got to be Specs. I am going to make an aggressive play and go into Band. He hard swaps. Okay. What does he hard swap into? The Chinchino! We go hard Darkrai here. We can KO with Dark Pulse. If it is Scarf. If it is Choice Scarf, then we can live. It could be Skill Link and not Technician, but why would it be? I'm gonna go back into Weezing here. If he's special Chinchino as well, that's crazy. We hard swap back into Weezing. Triple Axle from Chinchino can do a ton of damage. If he does swap again, if he swaps again, then we know it's not Scarf. Goes for Tidy Up. Okay. So it's at +1 speed. I'm gonna go for a Willow here. It's not Scarf, so it's probably Loaded Dice. Tail Slap does up to 78, so it can knock us out. But if I can get a burn off on this thing, that'd be huge. I'm gonna go for Willow. He goes for Sub! Oh no, Sub! This is a problem. It's fine though, because we are Rocky Helmet. We're gonna go for a Flamethrower because this does the most damage and it's 100% accurate. It's gonna do the most damage to this thing. Goes for another Tidy Up. Okay. He got rid of his own sub. He got rid of his own sub by doing that. If I get a burn out of this, that'd be crazy. Okay, no, I didn't get a burn, but that did a good chunk of damage. I think I can go for a Strange Steam here. No, I'm gonna go for another Flamethrower. Because... Goes for Triple Axle, that's fine. He's gonna take a ton of damage from this from Rocky Helmet. He might knock us out here, but we'll knock him out too. Yep. Okay, so... I can freely go into Darkrai here and not worry at all. I know that Meowscarada is not Scarf, because Landorus outsped it. I can freely go into Darkrai here and do massive damage to whatever he wants to do. That was a very interesting Chinchino set, though. The one thing I'm a little bit scared about is Meowscarada being potentially sashed, but we can work with that. He goes into Bear Tick. Okay. It is Terra fighting Bear Tick. It does get Body Press. We know we're faster than it. Do I specifically need Darkrai for the rest of this matchup? Terra Flying Landorus can kind of clean up. Swampert can clean up. I'm not super worried. I'm gonna go for... How much does Psychic do? Psychic has a 2-shot on this guy. Terra Fighting... Body Press. I mean, I'm gonna go for Psychic. I don't see why I don't go for Psychic here. He just switches. If he goes into Meow, that's crazy. He goes into Pex! Oh, man, this Pex is gonna take massive damage. That's so much damage on the Pex. That is insane damage. We're gonna Psychic again. If he wants to go into Meow, that's fine. If he wants to go into Meow, that's a fine swap. I don't mind that. That is insane damage on the Pex, though. He does swap. He does hard swap, which I think is the best play for him. He does go Meow. That's fine. I do know it's special Meow. It could be mixed Meow, but I'm inclined to just hard swap. I think we can go into Cyclozar for free. Cyclozar is pretty not helpful. We don't outspeed the Meow, but I think we're fine. Cyclozar U-turn can do massive damage. If he wants to go for triple axle, that's fine. He is definitely max special attack. He goes for Dark Pulse. Okay. How much is this doing? 286 to 136. So 286, 83. He did 43%. Okay. How much is that doing to Swampert? Dark Pulse on Swampert is doing like a 5th. We can go hard into that and see if he's choiced. We're gonna go hard into Swampert and see if he's choiced. So he stays in. Does he go for Dark Pulse again, or does he go for a different move? Goes for Dark Pulse, okay. So 379 to 250. Okay. That did 34%. That is definitely choice specs. Okay. That is choice specs, potentially modest. I'm very inclined to flip turn here. We do know he's choiced. We flip turn, we get momentum. He does swap, so we're gonna get some momentum here with this flip turn. What does he go into? He goes into Pex. Okay. It does very, very little. That's Fizz Def, most likely. It is not. Oh, it's got some Fizz Def in there, for sure. We can go into... I think we could go into Landorus on this Pex. Earthquake is probably going to knock it out. Unless it's like... 252 bold? No, it should get knocked out. We go into Lando. How much damage is it at? It's at... Even if it's max physical defense, it's barely up to 60, mid-60s, so it might be a roll. Let's see. I would say it's at like 63. Earthquake should be able to knock this out 100%. He does stay in. Are we going to get a free knockout on the Pex? We are going to knock out the Pex. Okay. Let's see what he wants. He goes into Bear Tick. That makes sense. Terra fighting Bear Tick? I don't... Let's see. Bear Tick does get Earthquake. I think I'm gonna wait for the Terra. We can go hard into Spyro and knock it off. This is fine. Again, Spyro is pretty expendable. We see Icicle Crash and a miss from Icicle Crash. That is brutal. I feel so bad about that. I actually do. That's a brutal miss. I was hoping to sack this guy, but I get a free knockoff here, so that's fine. I get a free knockoff on the Bear Tick. I could get a free knockoff on the Meow. I mean, the Meowscarada I know is specs, so not a big deal there. We do get a knockoff on the Bear Tick. That's awesome, and we get rid of leftovers. Okay, it does get the Icicle Crash this time. We are going to go down. That's fine. Bear Tick KO Cyclozar. That's fine. I can go into Kyber for free, I think. How much is Kyber doing to Meowscarada with Tachyon Cutter? It's doing a ton. How much is it doing to Bear Tick if it's Terra fighting? It's doing like half. He has to Terra fighting, and if he's like a bulky set, Tachyon Cutter's still doing a chunk. Earthquake, Adamant, 252. That's doing a good amount of damage, but we definitely live 2. So I can go for a Tachyon Cutter and then a Psychic. I can go for a Tachyon Cutter and then a Psychic with Iron Crown and feel very safe. He does swap. So Meowscarada is going to take a Tachyon Cutter, and it's not going to like it. It's going to take over half damage. Yeah, that's doing roughly over half. Yep, just over half. Perfect. Massive damage. We get leftovers. We go from 291 to 311. We're at 93. Dark Pulse from this specific Choice Specs Meowscarada. Dark Pulse is not KOing us. We can go for another Tachyon Cutter. Aura Sphere, and it's going to be a fighting type now. That's fine. We live that very easily. And Iron Crown is going to pick up the KO there. Iron Crown KOs the Meowscarada. Even if we are in range of an Earthquake, I think we Psychic no matter what on the Bear Tick. Psychic is doing a ton of damage. I think he probably... We're at 223 right now. If he has Earthquake, then we definitely go down. But otherwise, I think we just Tachyon Cutter. I think even... I'm pretty sure even Terra Fight. Yeah, that's a 2-hit KO. We just Tachyon Cutter. He does Terra. Okay, so we're still going to do a chunk of damage. We could have Psychicked predicting that, but Darkrai will probably snag the last KO here. We do get the Tachyon Cutter off. We're going to do a good chunk of damage. We're going to put it in range. He goes for close combat. We might live that. We do not live that. Okay. Bear Tick KOs Iron Crown. I don't think Bear Tick gets priority outside of Aqua Jet. It's Aqua Jet. I don't think it gets Mach Punch. At least it shouldn't get Mach Punch. I don't think it gets any, like, other priority that I have to be super worried about. Yeah. We can go into Darkrai. We can take this thing out with a Psychic. GG's to Sableye. Meowscarada, special Meowscarada caught me off guard again. I need to be more careful with that. Man, I need to be more careful with that. That's the second time special Meowscarada has caught me off guard. That is the second time it's caught me off guard. Man. GG's to Sableye. Go ahead and check out his channel in the top right, as well as in the description, as well as the other WPF coaches down in the description as well. Great match. Very fun sets that you brought, Sableye. GG's to you. Best of luck the rest of the season. And we'll catch you guys next week for week 4. And a little bit of a heads up, we are taking on Dashing Sceptile next week, who we're looking to get some revenge on. So best of luck to Sableye for the rest of the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week for week 4. Take care.